Hey everybody, it's Randy Furman with Shark Fin Shears. I'm the CEO and founder, and today I want to talk about something really important: how to disassemble and reassemble your shears. We do get calls from time to time that somehow somebody's taken their shear apart or it's fallen apart and they don't know how to put it back together. So it's really simple, and in addition to just taking it apart and putting it back together, a nice benefit of knowing that is when you do your weekly cleaning. If you feel comfortable knowing how to take your shear completely apart, you can get all the hair out of the pivot area, from a week's worth of cutting. So all the hair follicles and product that's built up there. So it's really simple. There's 4 parts, and I can't talk about other companies, so I'll just talk about Shark Fin for our shears. There's 4 components to a adjustment system, okay? So if we look down here, this is our double Shark and Monarch, and this has a ball bearing system versus a nylon bushing system. So there's 4 parts to both. You have the adjustment knob itself, okay? You have the click plate, you have the ball bearing, and you have the screw that holds the whole shear together with the adjustment knob. Now, our older systems, all of our new shears now, even our Pro and Pro Plus line, are coming with ball bearing systems, but depending on when you're purchasing from us, you may have the same thing, which is the adjustment knob, the click plate, but now you notice there's no ball bearing system. It's a nylon washer and the screw. So let me show you guys how easy it is to take a shear apart and how to put it back together. So the first thing you want to do is take your index finger, put it behind the screw back here. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that, right? I'm going to turn it with the knob facing up, and I'm going to keep my index finger underneath so when I take the adjustment knob off, that the screw doesn't just fall out, okay? So now I'm going to lift up the ring blade. Now, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to turn it over on my hand, kind of hit it. There's the click plate. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So let's take the adjustment knob, put it here. Take the click plate, put it here. If you guys can notice on that click plate, by the way, it's square. We're going to talk about that in a second, okay? You guys can all see that it's square. So now we're going to take and grab the screw, what's sticking out of the thumb blade, push it away. Okay, I've got it in my hand now. I'm going to take the thumb blade and gently put it down so you don't nick the blades. And what you're going to see on the screw is this one happens to have the ball bearing system. So if you guys can see it, just like what's on your car that makes the wheel spin freely, that's the same thing, okay? You don't need to take this off, but just for demonstration purposes, I'll show you. I'm going to take it off. See, the tolerances are really tight, so it doesn't pop right off. I'm going to put that here. And then I'm going to put the screw here. And if you take a look at the screw, hopefully you guys can see it's also square. The reason that's important is when you put it back together, that's going to go through the thumb blade. And then on the ring finger blade, let me show you. I'm going to hold it up against my shirt. You'll notice that's square. You guys can see that? So that locks everything in place, so when you put the adjustment system back together, it actually works. It doesn't just spin. So now all we're going to do is reverse the process and put the shear back together. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab the thumb handle blade. Okay, I'm going to put my, doesn't matter what hand you hold it in. I'm going to take the screw, and this one has the ball bearing system. I'm going to put the ball bearing back on the screw like that, okay? Then I'm going to take and pop it back through the back of the thumb handle blade, just the way we took it apart. All you're doing is reversing the process that you did when you took it apart, right? I've got my index finger underneath the screw, so it can't fall off. Now I'm going to take the ring finger blade. Now remember, it's square. And remember, the screw here is square. So when you put it back on, you see there's a gap here. You got to turn it till it snaps. Let me do that again. Hear that snapping noise? That means that the square hole went into the square part of the screw. I'm going to close the blades. I'm going to pinch it together. I'm going to take the adjustment knob. I'm sorry, I keep calling it that. I'm going to take the click plate, make sure the knob is the bump is facing up. The bump, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's right there, okay? And then what we're going to do is pop it on top of the screw in the pivot area. I'm going to take the adjustment knob. Now, it's not locked into the square, but it's okay because as I start to turn this, it's going to lock itself in place. The way you'll know if you've got the click plate facing up the bump in the right way, you guys hear that? It should be clicking. So if you put it back together and you make it tighter and it's not clicking, you have the click plate upside down, take the knob off, flip it over, put the knob back on, and then we're going to adjust blade tension. too tight because I turned it too much. Actually, that's perfect. About a 1-inch gap at the tips. Remember, check that once a day, every day. That's all there is to it, guys. Let's look at the washer, the nylon washer system instead of the ball bearing system. Everything is the same. And just to show you guys, we're going to take this apart real quick. It's our blue titanium Pro Plus line. I'm going to take that washer out. Sometimes it'll, and that's the click plate. Sometimes it'll fall out. Sometimes you may have to take the shear and just kind of bump it on your hand. Don't bump it on metal because you could hurt the blades. Okay, now here, let's zoom in on this. I'm going to push the screw out carefully. And what you should see inside, there it is. See that little white washer right there? Now over time, that's going to get gray colored or black because as you're lubricating and cutting, you're going to get microscopic amounts of metal, and that's going to change the color from white to black. Now, if you don't have 4 parts when you take your shear apart, that then in theory is stuck in there, but you may not see it because it's not white anymore. Take the screw, flick it like that. You should be able to pull out that washer. And then again, all you're going to do to put it back together is just put it back in the same way it came apart. Make sure the washer's in there. It's not sticking out. Flip it over. Take the ring finger blade, go back and forth until it snaps like you just heard. Close it. Take the adjustment, the click plate. Make sure it goes in right side up. It was upside down. And, whoops. Take the adjustment knob itself. It's clicking, so I know it's right. Check your blade tension. Boom, 1-inch gap at the tips, we're good to go. So that's our tech tip of the day. If you have any issues where you lose a part, we're really easy to work with. Those of you that are customers, you know it's all about you guys. It's all about customer service. Call us. We'll send you parts, whatever you need for free. We'll pay the shipping. We want to get you up and running as soon as possible. If you have time, go to www.sharkfinshears.com. Click on educational videos or education. We have a ton of how-to videos. Past haircuts we've had other artists do. Willie, who's our education director, has done a bunch. There's a lot of great how-to videos on there. So surf around the educational part. We appreciate your business. I hope this has really helped. Again, any questions, you can email us at info@sharkfinshears.com. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And remember, it's nice to be nice.